All right, Jai Shri Ram everyone. So we are live and today we are going to start with the Python. ठीक है, हमने वीक 5 कंप्लीट कर लिया और आज वीक 6 से स्टार्ट करेंगे. ठीक है, यहाँ पे ये बताएगा लिस्ट वगैरह क्या होता है, लिस्ट, सेट्स, टपल्स, कुछ ट्यूपल्स भी बोलते हैं, डिक्शनरीज एंड एवरीथिंग. एंड इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सेशन फॉर टुडे, क्योंकि आज हम वापस से जो मैंने शुरू में बोल रखे कि लाइक हम लिस्ट के बारे में पढ़ते हैं. ठीक है, हम स्ट्रिंग के बारे में पढ़ते हैं. सो लिस्ट एंड स्ट्रिंग के अंदर क्या होता है, मतलब मेन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग होती है इंडेक्सिंग उनकी. ठीक है, तो आज भी इंडेक्सिंग के बारे में हम पढ़ेंगे मेनली. ठीक है, चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं. एंड अभी मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ वेदर एम आई लाइव और नॉट. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले गए यहाँ. ओके, पाइथन कार्तिक गौड़. राइट, सो आई गेस वी आर लाइव. ये तो पुराने वाला है, ये नया वाला है. अभी मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ वेदर एम आई लाइव और नॉट. चलो लाइव है. ठीक है, तो स्टार्ट करते हैं फिर वीक 6 लिस्ट एंड सेट्स के साथ में. अभी मैं एक बार और चेक करूँगा कि ऑडियो आ रही है नहीं आ रही है. ठीक है, ठीक है. अभी मैं एक बार और चेक करूँगा कि ऑडियो आ रही है नहीं आ रही है. ठीक है, कूल. चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं यार.
Welcome to the week 6 of Python programming course. We will start with a small example which has nothing to do with programming to begin with, but understanding this idea helps us explain a concept better. So, assume you have a car and a bus. You see, what is it that you have in a car that you don't have in a bus? What is it that you have in a bus that you don't have in a car? Okay? If you think for a minute, you will realize that a car gives good mileage, while a bus does not give very good mileage. Okay, it's only commonsensical simply because car is a typical 5-seater, a bus is a 50-seater plus, probably even more, right? But then, this is actually an advantage, correct? This is certainly an advantage. This is a plus here, while this becomes a minus here. But then, there is something nice about the car. It gives you mileage, right? While bus does not give you good mileage. There are more benefits of a car. You see, it's very sort of, what do I say? I can call it mobile. You can take it to a narrow road and still cruise through the road and then come back safely. But then you take a bus, you may get stuck in our roads, right? If the road is very narrow, you probably will not be able to turn it properly, right? So, what is it that you observe here? We observe what is called a trade-off, right? So, if you want to gain something in life, you may have to give up on some other things in life, right? We all know this well-known idiom, right? So, as you can observe here, car and bus has its own pros and cons. Similarly, in Python, we will observe some aspects of Python where there will be something positive and there are some other aspects where there are some negatives of it. Okay, so we cannot have everything in a facility. Okay, I may sound very Greek right now, but it will be clear to you in the next video. So let me consider a list L, which is, let's say, a list of range of 1 million. Let's say only 10 to begin with. Okay, so L is so much, and I know I can access a particular element in L. L of 5 is 5, L of 0 is my name here. Right? I can
स्किप कर रहा हूँ एक बार के लिए क्योंकि हमने ये पढ़ रखा ऑलरेडी. ठीक है,
append whatever I want here. Okay, I can even append a 5 so to be true if 5 is in L. If it's not in L, it turns out to be false. For instance, if I say -1 in L, it spits out an error saying it's false, right? Or let's say I say Sudarshan in L, true, right? Sudhir in L, false. It says true. The more important thing here is that you can use the in command. All right. So now just observe something really fascinating happens right now. When I say instead of L, let's say L is list of range of really big a number, let's say 1 billion.
ये मेरे को भी चेक करना. कूल. तो ये लिख रहा था अभी क्या, L1 is equals to list of range of 1000. ठीक है, and then we are going to print L2. कूल. तो ये लिस्ट बन गई हमारी 0 to 9999. ठीक है,
this is 1 billion, right? 1 followed by 9. So this because obviously it takes here already, rewrite it. So whatever you want, but it chose to create it like this. You know how to do it? What will happen? 0 is present in L. Okay, 1 in L, obviously. Do you think Sudarshan is in L? No, all of L. Right? Why? Because L is a very huge list of, yeah, it's done now, of 1 billion entries. It goes through everything and says it's false. But then why did it turn out to be true so quickly? It said true in no time. When I said 1 in L, that's because it quickly found 1, it was in the beginning. It goes to the entire list. In case you punch in something that's not in the list, it may want to go through the entire list and say no.
I want to check, like he searched Sudarshan and then after like a long time it returned false. And अगर हम सिर्फ 1 की बात करें, so इसने 1 बहुत जल्दी ट्रू दे दिया. तो अभी मेरे को ये सर्च करना है कि लाइक तो मेरे को कोई भी नंबर फाइंड आउट करना है लिस्ट के अंदर, तो वो कैसे सर्च कैसे कर रहा है, जो ये कंप्यूटर है वो सर्च कैसे कर रहा है. लाइक there are multiple search options. We have like binary search, then we have tree mapping or something. मतलब उसके अंदर पढ़ा था मैंने, tree mapping होता है क्या, decision tree, sorry, decision tree. वो तो एल्गोरिथम नहीं है क्या? वेट अ सेकंड, लेट मी अभी चेक कर लेते हैं यार. ठीक है, सो बाइनरी सर्च, बाइनरी सर्च एंड इसके अंदर अल्टरनेटिव्स. अभी के लिए मेरे को बाइनरी सर्च ही याद आ रहा है. क्रोम है ये, तभी ब्रेव होता तो अभी हाथों हाथ बता देता. फास्टर देन बाइनरी सर्च, सब लिस्ट्स search, interpolation search versus binary search. Why fast trees? तो ये डिफरेंट सर्चेज है हमारे पास में. ठीक है, एंड कौन से को कब यूज़ करना है दैट कम्प्लीटली डिपेंड्स ऑन योर प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट. एक्सपोनेंशियल सर्च, बाइसेक्शन सर्च. तो मेरे को ये फाइंड आउट करना है कि लाइक ये जो इन स्टेटमेंट है जो यहाँ पे ये यूज़ हो रहा है, ये कौन सा सर्च यूज़ करता है. इट्स अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली. अगर आपको पता हो तो बताना मेरे को भी नीचे कमेंट सेक्शन में, क्योंकि अभी के लिए मेरे को नहीं पता है. इसको फाइंड आउट करने का कोई मेरे पास है भी नहीं, कोई तरीका भी नहीं है.
It is not there at the end, right? So because it should see through every single entry in L, here is a moment where we should pause and then realize that a computer is fast, but this fast is not infinitely fast. If you torture it with a big number like this, the computer definitely listen, right? This is called a small bracket, you know, this is a small bracket, this is a square bracket, and this is a flower bracket, right? So I believe you are taught all these things in your school days. All right, so if I say y is equal to a flower bracket instead, and I say 1, 7, 6, 2, 4, 8, then close it, and maybe I'll put another 1 here and then close it, it accepts. Right? It doesn't really require a bracket, but then this doesn't become a list, right? So what else does it become? We know how to check the data type. You see, if I say type of x, it says x is of type list. When I say type of y, what has happened so far? Let's be clear. I created a list-like thing, but I did not use the big bracket. Let me print y and show you what a set is. You see, set was, you wrote y as 1, 7, 6, 2, 4, 8, 1, but you remember the definition of the set, right? Set does not have repeated elements. So it removed the repeated one here and did not display it here. Whereas in X, 1 was repeated and it did display 1 repeated here. But when you declare it as flower brackets, it calls itself a set. Okay, flower bracket means that entity becomes a set, and in a set, repetitions are not allowed, right? So when I say repetitions are not allowed, it's a man-made convention that in a set, it is a bunch of elements which are not repeated, right? And on this set also, we can check 2 in y, true, right? 8 in y, true. 10 in y, no false, correct? Minus 1 in y, no false, right? So the in operator works on y also. Now we are slowly getting to the example of car and bus, the analogy of car and bus. We cannot have everything in life, you see, isn't that right? Okay, So what I will now do is, very patiently, I will create, let me clear this entire shell for a second. I'm clearing the shell, and let me create once again a list as big as, let's say, 1 billion entries. How do I do that? L equals list of range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. And close the bracket, and I get a list. It will take some time to create it. Let us spend that time, and I'll meanwhile tell you what I'm going to do next. I'm going to create a set of the same size, all right, of size 1 million, which means it will simply be what S will be all the elements 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 999999999, which is 1 less than 1 billion. So we are through. If I say S equals set of range of, I say 10 to begin with, just so that you understand what I'm doing. Okay, and I'll print S. It will have these things. Okay, if I said X equals list of range of 10, will this have as you would have expected? It has a list 0 to 9. Oh, this has the element 0 to 9. Of course, this has no repetitions. I did not include any repetitions here. When I said range of 10, it was from 0 to 9, and I converted range is another data type. In fact, I converted that to a set data type. Okay, what's the big deal about it? Now observe this. Instead of 10 here, I will copy paste this very same code, but I'll put 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then hit enter, and this will take actually more time than L. Right? So on your computer, when you try this, it may take even more time than what it is taking on my computer, or maybe slightly less time. But one thing is for sure, that this will take more time than this when you created L. Right? Okay, so let's wait. Well, finally the program is done. S is now a set containing 1 billion entries. In fact, I had to pause the video and then resume it because it took a opening of a lot of time. It took close to a couple of minutes. It may take a lot of time on your computer. So try to put as many zeros so that creating a list takes a few seconds. Then creating a set will take even more than the list. You may wonder why. Now let's see the, so what I call, I think this is magic for you all. So just look at this. When I say 0 in L, it says true because 0 is in L, as you can see, right? L contains the first 1 billion entries from 0 to 1 billion minus 1. So when I say 1 in L, it says true, as we discussed earlier. When I say minus 1 in L, it will take a long time. Why is that? That's because it has to go through all of this 1 billion entries and check if minus 1 is present anywhere or not. Of course, it's not present because it's from 0 to 99999 that we know, but the computer doesn't know, right? It will only see it as a list and will search through it completely and gets tired and finally says false, minus 1 is not in L. So let's wait for it to say that. Again, it took me close to a minute for this to return false, which means the computer did work hard. You see, at least it took a lot of time to tell me it is not there. But then look at the magic here. Now when I say 0 in S, it says true. 1 in S, it says true. And minus 1 in S, what is your guess? Okay, S is what? S is not just as big as 10. I have redone that S is in the range of 1 billion, as big as the list, except that it's of the data type set. Okay, this should also take a long time, is my guess. But when I press enter, you see, boom, it quickly says false. Okay, Sudarshan in S, it says false. So what exactly is happening here? That the data structure S, the data type S is so fast, but L is so slow. When it comes to the idea of belongingness, when I say is minus 1 in S, it quickly says false. But the same question in L, when I ask, it took me close to a minute to return the answer. So probably you need to type this as I am talking on your terminal and check it for yourself. The speed with which S says true or false, while L doesn't. Okay, so why is this happening? Let us continue to look at this problem that I was discussing. The question of car and bus and the trade-off. You see, that is precisely what happened between our list and our set. Here in the list, something was difficult, but in the set, that something was easy. As you saw, searching in the list was very difficult, but in the set, searching was very easy. But then, why not use this technique here in the list? No, that's not possible. That's not possible because there is something in the list that is easy, which is not easy in a set. Right? As I say, life is full of trade-offs, so is it in a computer. Right? There are trade-offs here too. You can only achieve a few things that you want. If you want to achieve everything, then it will become very costly for you. Okay, so let's go back and then try to see what exactly is nice about a list that is not there in a set. So we still are questioning what is so great about lists. Why can't we simply use sets? Let me answer that question on this terminal here by showing you a nice fact. Remember import that we used to do, import random, right? We also did import math, if you remember, right? There was also import NumPy, if you remember, in the previous weeks that we taught. There's also something called import sys. Right? We don't need NumPy, math and random right now. We only need import sys today. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll say list is equal to empty list, and I'll create another list L1, and I'll put one number there. I'll create another list L2, put another 0, 1 there, maybe 2 entities, and then sys has a very nice function. It's called get size of. Okay. When I put L, it simply tells me what is the size of L in the memory of your computer, whatever that means to you. Don't take your head much about what is memory and all that. You wouldn't have understood that part yet. Maybe in one of the courses ahead you might understand it. But as of now, this is the amount of space you keep. In a book you dedicate some space for writing something and then move to the next page, right? So similarly, even your computer allocates some space. This is actually in bytes. It is allocated 56 bytes for L. Let us see how much it is allocated for L1. It has 64. Obviously, it should be big because L1 contains something. L did not contain anything. Actually, it should be 0, you see, because it did not contain anything. But then that doesn't happen. Computer always allocates some space for the list itself, right? There will be some bookkeeping that it will do, right? Don't worry about the jargon's bookkeeping and even the word memory is a little confusing here. Don't take your head. Okay. All right. So now let me say X as a list of range 100 entities, and a set S. I only have X, which is a list. Okay. L was used already. That's why I didn't use L here. I used X here. Sys get size of X. It is 856. But for S, pause. Take a guess. S also stores the same 100 numbers. Correct? Let me help you out by printing X. 100 numbers. Print S. 100 numbers. Just that is within the flower bracket. This is within the square bracket. It takes roughly 10 times more the size as that of a list. Okay. Again, I repeat, the motive is not to confuse you with this get size of S and X. I'm using a very commonsensical. I'm trying to answer a very commonsensical question here. I'm only saying what is the big difference between X and S. You saw, right? Searching was so easy in a set, while very difficult in X. Maybe they are Python is doing something more. It is creating a bus instead of a car, right? Your list was nothing called a third element here. These are all a set of elements. I can only tell you if an element is present here or not. I cannot tell you what is the first element or second element. That is the downside of S. What is S? This is a set. That's the downside of a set. But an upside of set is, you saw, right? -1 in S when we searched for an element with 1 billion entries, we observed that it searches in no time while a list takes a long time. Right? You may ask me, where exactly should I use a set? Where exactly should I use a list? There are many instances where you may want to use a set. Assuming I have the names, I'll call it, let's say, Z is equal to all those people whom I have met so far. Okay? Which is, let's say, Amit, and then Niru, and then let's say Anamika, let's say Varsha. Each list. Actually, I have called it a set here. According to Python, I'm making an entry of who all I met. Okay. Here, I don't need to know who was the first person I met, who was the second person I met. But I need to know one thing. I need to know if I have met Amar or not. It will say no. If I have met Anamika or not, it says yes. If I have met Nitin or not, it says yes. Have I met Sudarshan? It says no, because Sudarshan is not here. Correct? So what if I add Sudarshan here? Right? I can always add Sudarshan here. There is a z.add. Let's see what it does. Add an element to a set. By add, it means, it doesn't mean plus. It means include. If I say add and say Sudarshan, then let me not include Sudarshan, that will confuse you because this is a list of people I have met. It doesn't make sense to meet myself unless there is someone else by name Sudarshan. I'll say Kartik. And when I say print Z, I get all these entries. I can even say, have I seen Kartik anytime in Z? It says yes. But as you know,
I'm Kartik without H.
The Z does not have first element or second element and things like that. Even if you have a huge list of people, how big is Z? Z is only some 6 entries here. Even if it had 6 billion entries, it would very quickly tell me if something is there or not. To check whether something is there or not, you're maintaining a big database, then you use a set. If you want to refer to the elements in your data set, then you use a list. Okay, a list, namely Y. In the example that we used, what was it? Y. What was that? I forget it. I'm so sorry. What was that? X. Okay, X. If it was X, then you can do X of 0, X of 1, X of 10. Okay, you can even say is 63 in X. It will return, but it will be very, very slow. So slow that you cannot handle that data. You can wonder, why can't we mix this list and set both and then try to have a very generic type of data? You know, that is why you will study a subject called data structures. Let me type that here. Of course, it will not return anything. It is not a command. It is just for a reference. Data structures in the forthcoming semesters, where you will understand what kind of data structure is your list, what kind of data structure is your set, when to use what, and more of it is actually sort of philosophical, and you will understand it at a very mathematical level than a computational level. Details aside, I didn't mean to confuse you people. The summary of what we discussed is basically there is a set. Let's say A equals 1, 7, 8, 2, 3, and there is a list. A is a list. Sorry, not a set. A is a list. B is another on. Here you can do a few things that you cannot do here. You can do something here very fast that you cannot do here. Okay. If you have understood this much, that should be enough. With time, you will realize where to use a set and when to use a list.
Cool. ये हुआ हमारा लिस्ट एंड सेट वाला. ठीक है. Wait a second. Okay. So ये लिस्ट एंड सेट. लिस्ट के अंदर कुछ भी मतलब कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो हम नहीं कर सकते, वेयर सेट के अंदर भी कुछ है जो हम नहीं कर सकते. लाइक जब भी सेट को असाइन करते हैं तो वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा टाइम ले रहा है, वेयर लिस्ट को असाइन करने में कुछ खास टाइम नहीं जा रहा. लेकिन अगर वो भी नंबर या फिर कुछ भी एलिमेंट अगर सर्च करना हो लिस्ट और सर्च के अंदर दोनों, लिस्ट और सेट के अंदर दोनों के अंदर, तब थोड़ा सा डिफ़िकल्टी होता है. लेट मी चेक कोई कमेंट वगैरह आया हुआ है क्या. ठीक है. चैट ओके, अभी के लिए कुछ नहीं है. ठीक है, चलो जी. स्टार्ट करते हैं आप टपल्स के साथ में, या डिक्शनरी सॉरी.
So we saw what's a list. List is simply put some numbers here or any other string as you, and you can append something onto the list. Okay, and yeah, you have 5 here. You just appended 5 here, right? So you can even change the value of, let's say, L of 3. What is L of 3? L of 3 is 4. You can say L of 3 equals 100, and that gets changed. You see, but the set, as you know, set.
वेट अ सेकेंड, मैं एक और चीज़ चेंज कर देता हूँ यार, यहाँ पे मैं बीच में आ रहा हूँ। इसको उठाओ, इधर लेके आओ। ये लो, अब तुम्हें अच्छे से दिखेगा सब कुछ।
It was, what was the set? 1, 2, 7, 8, 10, let's say, and S did not have this facility, correct? You could not index S, right? So I told you that there are differences between L and S. You observe that you can find out an element in S, you can also find out an element in L, but this works really fast. If the size is over 1 billion, right? This is super duper fast. Now, let's go ahead and discuss something that is slightly complex at the level of your computer, but is actually easy on your mind. Okay? It's called a dictionary data structure, and trust me, this is going to be slightly difficult on your minds to begin with. Although I say it's easy, but it takes some time for this concept to become easy on your mind. So stay patient. As always, only when you demonstrate the usage of a concept will you really realize that, oh yeah, now I understand why this is used. Okay, so I will tell you the idea behind this concept called dictionaries, and then put that to use. That will make it very clear to you. So if I say D is equal to, simply open and close bracket, it becomes a dictionary. Right? When you include single numbers like this, it becomes a set. But when you only start and end an empty bracket like this, it becomes a dictionary. And you can say D of anything you want. Let's say Sudarshan is equal to my, let's say, phone number 989898 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Perfect. So this is actually not my phone number. Don't give me a ring. This is an example. Okay. So D of, let's say, someone else by name Ramya, and her phone number, let's say, is so much 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. So and then Ravi, his number. You want to find out the value of any entry here. You simply put D and in bracket you put that and you will get the value here. Is that clear? So do you remember how a list works? I had created a list L here. List simply contains entries like this. Alright? If you say L of 0, it will show you the first element. But here, in case of a dictionary, right, if the D of 0, it simply doesn't know what to do. It will go and see if 1 is present in D. Okay? You can only put D, big bracket. Okay? Inside this bracket, you must specify whatever you have here. Let's say Ramya. Okay? If you put something that is not present, you only have Sudarshan, Ramya and Ravi here. If you, let's say, put IIT here, it will throw an error saying there is nothing like that here. Right? Key error IIT, that is not available. Okay? Alright, so of what use will this be? Right? Of what use is this D here, which you created by saying D is equal to, right, so much, and then you said D of something. What was that? What was that? D of Ravi equals so much, D of Ramya equals so much, D of Sudarshan equals so much. You created it, and finally you had your D, which is this, right? Of what use is this facility? Right? I mean, sounds like a very useless facility in Python. I don't see any immediate use for this. But remember from your computational thinking course, there was extensive discussion on dictionaries. If I can remind you, Professor Madhavan, in fact, tries to take the example of the bills in a shop, in a supermarket, and then tries to take the sequence number, rather the bill number, and then figures out what all transactions were done. In fact, he explains what's a table and then creates a dictionary of entries. Correct? So if I sound jargonic, please go back and then watch your computational thinking part of the dictionary discussion in that course. But for the time being, I will now open the video of Professor Madhavan, which I've kept it ready right now, just so that I was actually wondering from where to introduce dictionaries to you people, and I was very happy that it was discussed in the computational thinking course. Right? I'm going to particularly take this example that's discussed here. Okay? It was a Monday morning. Swaminathan was reluctant to open his eyes. He considered Monday especially unpleasant in the calendar. After the delicious freedom of Saturday and Sunday, it was difficult to get into the Monday mood of work and discipline. He shuddered at the very thought of school, that dismal yellow building, the fire-eyed Vedanayagam, his class teacher, and the headmaster with his thin, long cane. Right, a wonderful, work by R.K. Narayan. If you didn't know, this is a pic from Malgudi days, Swami and Friends. If you don't know what that is, you probably should read the story. Better even watch the series. It was made in the 1980s, a very popular serial it was. It's probably available online right now. Anyway, details aside, I felt good reading it like an English lesson. In fact, if I remember it right, we had this lesson in one of our in college days, if I remember it right. Alright, so at the graph, so let's look at what is being told here. Here, Professor Madhavan very nicely explains how you can find out the most frequently occurring word. Alright, so it occurs twice, he says, because it is here, it is also here. Okay, was appears thrice. Was is here, where else is was? One here, and maybe there's one more. Where is it? Did I miss it? So let me go through it slowly. Was, two was, and there are 3 was. We got a school that dismal yellow building, the fire program, class teacher, and the headmaster with his thin long cane. Here it is. That's how you make an eye to figure out how many times a word is repeated in a small text as small as this. Imagine a word is repeated, right? So you make a
करेंगे ये भी करते हैं यार, साथ में करते हैं, ठीक है? चलो करते हैं इसको। क्या कर रहे थे अपन? अपने पास में कोई भी एक स्ट्रिंग है बड़ा वाला, ठीक है, एंड यहाँ पे कुछ भी बड़ा सा लिख रखा है, जैसे कि आई एम द बेस्ट डेटा गाय। ओके, Oh, let's say I'm the best data scientist. CIENTIST. यार ये बहुत स्लो हो गया है यार. ऐसा तो मैंने कुछ ओपन भी नहीं कर रखा है. क्विट करो इसको. एंड यहाँ पे ये 3 चीज़ें, इसको भी क्विट करता हूँ. ओबीएस खुला है. ओबीएस तो ज़रूरी है मेरे को. सेटिंग्स भी जाने देते हैं. पाइचार्म की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है, रिमूव करते हैं. चलो अब तो कम से कम नहीं होना चाहिए. आई होप सही चलेगा. या फिर ये फाइल बहुत बड़ी हो चुकी है इसलिए शायद. ज़्यादा भी बड़ी नहीं है, चलना चाहिए इसको. काफ़ी कचरा इकट्ठा हो गया, ख़त्म करेंगे उसको. ठीक है, तो ये हुआ आई एम द बेस्ट डेटा साइंटिस्ट इन दिस बेस्ट planet where I find best subscribers every day who wants to become best data scientist in this best planet. ठीक है, तो मैंने जानबूझ के यहाँ पे मल्टीपल वर्ड्स जो है उनका यूज़ किया. ठीक है, ताकि जब मैं डिक्शनरी का यूज़ करूँगा तो फिर उसके अंदर हमें फ्रीक्वेंसी काउंट चाहिए हर एक वर्ड की, तो वो मेरे को पता चल जाए. ठीक है, तो अभी क्या करेंगे. अभी हमने पहले मेरी डे 5th और 6th के अंदर ये मैंने फाइंड आउट किया था कि कैसे आप इससे लिस्ट बना सकते हो. ठीक है, तो str डॉट, फिर यहाँ पे लगाया था हमने क्या, स्प्लिट के अंदर क्या है, सिर्फ स्पेस है. एंड यहाँ पे डाला था हमने list1 एंड दैट्स इट. अब अगर मैं list1 को प्रिंट करता हूँ तो हमारे पास में list1 आ जाएगा. ठीक है, तो ये देखो ये आ गई हमारी लिस्ट. ठीक है, अब इस लिस्ट के अंदर हम पहले तो एक डिक्शनरी बनाते हैं. लेट्स सपोज डिक्शनरी को क्या नाम दें, वर्ड डिक्शनरी. एंड ये कर दिया हमने इनिशियलाइज. ठीक है, अब फॉर आई इन लिस्ट 1. ठीक है, अभी आई करके एक करके ये सबको उठाएगा और फिर हमें ये फाइंड आउट करना है इफ़ दैट इज़ अवेलेबल इन वर्ड डिक्शनरी. ठीक है, इफ़ दैट इज़ अवेलेबल इन दिस डॉट कीज़. हाँ, तो अभी एक चीज़ जो अभी तक ऑडियो में मतलब जो वीडियो में नहीं दिखाई थी, दैट इज़ कीज़. ठीक है, तो कीज़ क्या करता है वो मैं यहाँ पे बताता हूँ सेकंड सेल के अंदर. तो कोई भी हमारे पास में अगर डिक्शनरी है एंड उसके अंदर लिख रखा है लाइक कार्तिक एंड उसके मार्क्स है लेट्स सपोज 45. देन फिर कोई दूसरा नाम है लेट्स सपोज नितेश. ठीक है, एंड उसका है लेट्स सपोज 101. IQ की बात कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, फिर आता है कोई भी लेट्स सपोज नितिन एंड उसका IQ है लेट्स सपोज 0. ठीक है, तो फिर अभी क्या करते हैं, इफ़ आई वांट टू फाइंड आउट विच नेम्स आर देयर और विच कीज़ आर देयर, सो बस कीज़ करो, दैट्स इट. इसको करेंगे प्रिंट. तो ये सारी की सारी कीज़ आ जाती है. ओके, वो ये डिक्शनरी फॉर्मेट में किस फॉर्मेट में ये फाइंड आउट करना है. तो फिर डायरेक्ट बस टाइप लिखो डिक्ट कीज़. क्लास इनका यही है, तो ये मतलब ये लिस्ट में तो नहीं है. यस, इट्स डिक्शनरी कीज़. ठीक है, तो फिर अब हमें ये देखना है कि ये जो आई जो है दैट इज़ अवेलेबल इन दैट पर्टिकुलर कीज़. तो अगर मेरे को कार्तिक का देखना है सिर्फ ARTI के कार्तिक इज़ इन डिक्शनरी कीज़ और नॉट, तो ट्रू आया. ठीक है, तो हम ये देख सकते हैं. तो इफ़ आई इज़ इन डिक्शनरी कीज़ देन हम क्या करेंगे, देन हम उस पर्टिकुलर डिक्शनरी का वर्ड डिक्शनरी एंड यहाँ पे आएगा आई का जो काउंट है वो 1 से बढ़ा देंगे, ठीक है। और अगर अवेलेबल नहीं है देन हम क्या करेंगे, वर्ड डिक्शनरी एंड फिर आई और फिर उसके अंदर हम 1 डाल देंगे। गुड, सब कुछ सही है। मतलब अगर अवेलेबल है तो उसका काउंट 1 बढ़ा दो, और अगर अवेलेबल नहीं है तो नया बनाओ एंड उसके अंदर ऐड कर दो, मतलब उसकी वैल्यू बना दो 1। ओके, ये हुआ एंड दैट्स इट, हो गया हमारा तैयार। वर्ड सी देन हम प्रिंट करेंगे कमांड बी वर्ड सी। चलो जी, तो ये आया नीचे वाला, तो ऊपर वाला मैं हटा देता हूँ एक बार के लिए क्योंकि थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है। ये देखो, आई सिर्फ एक बार आया, एम एक बार आया, बेस्ट मैंने 5 बार ऐड किया था क्योंकि मैंने बार बार बेस्ट लिखा है, 1 2 फिर आगे ऐसे भी काफ़ी बार है, 3 4 5, ठीक है। 1 2 3 4 और 5, तो 5 बार आ गया, ठीक है। तो ऐसे आप फ्रीक्वेंसी फाइंड आउट कर सकते हो किसी भी एक पैराग्राफ के अंदर, मतलब हर एक वर्ड की कितनी फ्रीक्वेंसी है। प्लैनेट हमने सिर्फ 2 बार यूज़ किया था तो वो प्लैनेट 2 बार आ गया, प्लैनेट 1 एंड प्लैनेट 2, ठीक है। चलो ये हो गया हमारा। अब जाते हैं वापस लेक्चर पे, देखते हैं क्या करा है उसने।
Computer, and Professor Madhav nicely explains how you can write a piece of code and figure out the max frequently occurring word. In fact, you see the word is actually the here, but the program, if you remember it right, displays the frequency, max frequency. All right. If I'm sounding Greek and Latin, you probably should go to YouTube and search for this lesson, watch it, and then come back. Right. Now, how do I code this? How do I code this on a computer? This very problem, right? And for that, I have it prepared. In fact, in Malgudi, oh, you must be thinking, what magic is this? How could he get this moment to Malgudi? It's not a built-in, entity in Python. I stored these words in a list called Malgudi. Okay. So what does Malgudi have? Malgudi is a list where the 0th element is it and the first element is was. In fact, you can print the entire list. You can say print Malgudi. It prints the entire list like this, one next to the other, right? So it was Monday morning. Swaminathan was reluctant to open his eyes. He considered Monday, etc., etc. I have removed all the dots, commas, and punctuations and things like that. And even these 3 dots here, 4 dots here, I have removed. I have made it only words, so that it's easy for me to search through. All right. So how will I search through the words here? Is there an easy way? Let me see. So, all this while I was using a list. Whenever I use list of numbers like this, okay, I would say for I in range len of L, print I would print the numbers like this, correct? So there's another way of doing this. You can always say for X or I or whatever, X in L, print X. This is very easy. Now that I introduce sets to you, sets, the word in there is used for belongingness. But here, when I say for X in L, I mean go through every element of L through this for loop, and then whatever you give here, that X variable will come and sit here, and it will print you give you the values of value of that particular variable, right? So for I in range len of L, print I. This is also fine. I'm sorry, what am I doing here? You should not print I. I'm very, very sorry. There's a small mistake here. You should say for I in range len of L, you say print L of I. That prints the value of L, values of L. This was just printing I, you see. For I in range len of L will be 1 2 3 4 5. So print from 0. Does Malgudi have? Very good. So we know sets, right? So I can say S equals set of Malgudi. Now repetitions will be gone, you see. Print S, all repetitions are gone, right? Oh, that's 66 words. However, there could be repetitions, right? Very good.
मालगुड़ी क्या है? मालगुड़ी क्या वो प्रिंट मालगुड़ी अच्छा ठीक है, मालगुड़ी वो है
I in range
लिस्ट एक्चुअली, एंड बाद में इसने इसको सेट बना दिया, ठीक है। यहाँ पे उसने लेंथ फाइंड आउट किया मालगुड़ी का 66, फिर इसने ये वहाँ पे सेट बना दिया। इसके बाद में अब यहाँ पे सेट बनाया 36 में, line number 36.
Sets, right? So I can say S equals set of Malgudi. Now repetitions will be gone, you see. Print S, all repetitions are gone right now, in flower brackets. If you print Malgudi, you will get everything with repetitions. As you can see, my word was, which is mumbled. You see, was is repeated twice here, but was.
Okay, Malgudi is a list, but S is a set, which was made from the list Malgudi. ठीक है, ये जो लिस्ट है इससे उसने S सेट बनाया, एंड फिर सेट से यहाँ पे ये लिखा है इसने जहाँ पे रिपीटेशंस नहीं है। वेरस अगर आप लिस्ट की बात करोगे जो कि मालगुड़ी है तो उसके अंदर काफ़ी रिपीटेशंस दिखेगी आपको, ठीक है।
Is somewhere once only displayed here, and I need to find that. Let me find where is was here. Oh my God, you see how difficult is searching manually. Was is here, right? Okay, so what's the story so far? The story so far is you create a list like this, you display it, you can do it like this, or you can also do it like this. Tip. tick. That's all. This entire circle here was just a small tip that instead of doing, sorry, not just this was a mistake. Instead of writing this code, you can instead write this code. I hope it's clear for you. If it's not clear, pause and try to write this code. And write this code, you will realize they both do the same thing. Okay. Computational thinking course, in one of his lessons, he quoted this paragraph to find out the most frequently occurring. Cannot be the. Alright, believe in me, if you suspect, then so you're right. In fact, I wrote a small piece of code where I could remove all the unwanted stuff and then keep these things. Anyway, that's out of the scope of our discussion right now, so I'm not going to discuss that. We still have some problems here, namely school colon. We should fix that. But anyways, don't worry. Let us go ahead right now and then see that Malgudi has as length of Malgudi 66. If you make it a set, it becomes smaller. Okay. So what is the length of S here? It is 50. But length of Malgudi is 66. So far so good. You understand? Malgudi is displayed here. Not displayed for 6. You have school. 10 is ice. There is ice. Maybe what word? 2. Malgudi of 31 is. I can always remove and then append. No, that would not be a good idea. So let me just figure out. If this is 31, get is 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47 is school. Okay, 47 is school. Yeah, that's right. So I'll just say 47 is equal to school. Just so that I remove this. Anyway, I don't want to edit this part where I want you to understand that you can also do something like this when you cleanse the data 50, 51. Okay, any length of Malgudi is so much. Is the way you speak. What does this mean? It means for all values x in Malgudi, you simply print those values. Right? It prints all those values. Easy in the mind, right? So now what I will do is I create a dictionary, right? Okay, I'll create a dictionary. Let me increase the font so that it's easy on your eyes. Let me create a dictionary, and for all the values, okay, for x in S, I'll say d of x is equal to 0. What do I mean by this? This is a dictionary, as you know. It will take x in S. What was S? Remember, S was all the words. Not you have to open your terminal and code with me. If you don't code with me, if you're not coding already, things are going to get slightly complicated. You will not be able to appreciate magic. Magic will be understandable if you're coding with me, otherwise magic will remain mysterious. You will not understand what I'm doing, right? So I say print S, you get this set, all these are non-repeated words from your Malgudi list, from this list, okay? Very good. So when I say for x in S, it goes through all values of S, these words, and then creates a dictionary with that word followed by 0. Let me print D and C. You see? You remember? I typed Sudarshan, Ramya, Ravi and put phone numbers by using colon there. So it says and is 0, specially is 0, 2 is 0, after is 0, freedom is 0, difficult is 0, so on and so forth. Now when I say D of get, it will see where is get here, get is somewhere here, right? Here, it will give me the value, anyway, every value is 0, so it's going to say 0 here. But then, pause for a second and observe this code. For x in Malgudi means what? The actual text, this text. I'm going through it one by one. What I do is D of x is equal to, okay, it was 0. Now I say d of x equals whatever d of x was, add 1 to it. What do you mean by this? By this you mean if for x in Malgudi.
Okay. So इन्होंने क्या किया? Let me tell you. हमने तो सिर्फ एक लिस्ट लिया, लिस्ट मतलब स्ट्रिंग को लिस्ट में कन्वर्ट किया एंड फिर उससे बना दिया हमने पूरा का पूरा, ठीक है? Whereas इन्होंने क्या किया? इन्होंने किया स्ट्रिंग लिया एक, लिख ले भाई. तो इन्होंने स्ट्रिंग लिया, स्ट्रिंग को इन्होंने कन्वर्ट किया है सबसे पहले तो अबे यार हाँ, स्ट्रिंग को इन्होंने कन्वर्ट किया सबसे पहले तो लिस्ट के अंदर एंड फिर उस लिस्ट को इन्होंने कन्वर्ट किया सेट के अंदर, ठीक है? अब जो ये सेट है, ठीक है, इससे इन्होंने बनाया डिक्शनरी. जस्ट बिकॉज सेट के अंदर क्या नहीं होता, डुप्लीकेसी नहीं होती है, ठीक है? देयर आर नो डुप्लीकेट्स. सो दैट्स वाई हमारे पास में जितने भी डिक्शनरी के अंदर कीज़ बनेगी वो सारी की सारी सिंगुलर होगी, राइट? एंड उन सब की वैल्यू डाल दी इन्होंने 0 शुरू के लिए. चलो जी, 0 डाल दिया. अब क्या किया इन्होंने? अब ये लिस्ट को पकड़ के लाए जिसके अंदर डुप्लीकेट्स ऑलरेडी है एंड डिक्शनरी के अंदर जितने मतलब लिस्ट के अंदर जितने भी है वो डिक्शनरी में भी है, बस लिस्ट के अंदर डुप्लीकेट से तो है. अब जितने जितने एलिमेंट्स हैं सबके आगे +1 जोड़ते जाएंगे. तो फिर अगर कोई भी वर्ड या एलिमेंट जो कि 5 टाइम्स रिपीट हुआ है तो वो 5 टाइम्स प्लस हो जाएगा. सिंपल, ठीक है? तो इन्होंने थोड़ा सा मतलब हल्का सा कॉम्प्लेक्स किया. हमने क्या किया? हमने सेट को हटा दिया. ओके, हमने सेट को हटा दिया और हमने लिस्ट से डायरेक्टली डिक्शनरी बनाई, ठीक है? लेकिन हमने बीच में एक इफ़ कंडीशन डाल दी. यहाँ पे इफ़ कंडीशन क्या डाली हमने कि अगर अवेलेबल है डिक्शनरी के अंदर तो उसके अंदर एक ऐड कर दो, और अगर अवेलेबल नहीं है तो वो वर्ड भी ऐड करो और उसके आगे बस 1 लगा दो. सिंपल, ठीक है?
For a word in this list, as you go from it was Monday morning, Swaminathan, you go to D of that word, D of it, and you become on. So let's see where the problem is. D of his is, I observed just now randomly that D of his is turning out to be 3, correct? So in Malgudi, let's say how many times his sescom. Okay, so this is easy. Once, twice. The morning, one of them was lucky to open his eyes once. He considered Monday especially unpleasant, after delicious, etc. It was Monday mood of he shuddered the very thought of school that maybe the words used here and the words that I have used are probably different. Okay, so let me just cross check that. Print Malgudi. Okay, it was Monday morning, small morning was lucky to open his eyes. It was Monday morning, small morning was open his eyes. He considered Monday especially unpleasant in the calendar. After the delicious freedom of Saturday and Sunday, it was difficult to get into the Monday mood of work and discipline. He shuddered at the very thought of school. The dismal yellow building, the fire-eyed Vedanayagam, his class teacher. Yeah, there's thrice. In fact, there is his here, and his here. You know, it should be 3. I wonder why there is 2 here. Probably it was a mistake here, not with our code. You see, that's the advantage of writing a piece of code. Of course, in making this PowerPoint, it was not easy manually for the person who did this PowerPoint to not have seen this error. Anyway, never mind. We all make mistakes. I make so many mistakes when I type my piece of code. Never mind. So our code is perfect. We observe that his indeed appears thrice, and as you observe, this very thing we created here, which is here, correct? And now you may want to tell me what is the most frequently occurring word here? It is the, correct? But then how do you find that out? Correct? It's not easy to find that out. How will you find that out? Let us write the same code that computational thinking course taught you. Whatever was the pseudo code that was taught in this course, I'm going to try writing the same old program here and try to figure out whether I can find out the max frequently occurring word. Are you finding it complicated? Are you finding it not so easy on your mind? Don't worry at all. The best way to learn is to restart the video. See it once again. I think this particular video you want to watch it thrice or even 4 times for you to make sense. If you have not understood dictionary before, if it's the first time you're observing what is a dictionary, you may want to see this video a couple of times more. Certainly, one pass you will not understand anything. So, where are we? We need to figure out what is the max frequently occurring word. So, how do we do that? Right?
वो इजी है. कैसे करेंगे? देखो, मैक्सिमम अकर्ड वर्ड को फाइंड आउट करने के लिए आपके पास वो वैल्यू होनी चाहिए, राइट? अब जैसे बेस्ट यहाँ पे अकर हुआ है 5 टाइम्स. ओके, तो अगर हम ये कर दें कि जो हमारे पास में वर्ड डिक्शनरी है, ठीक है, उसके अंदर हमें वैल्यूज़ बताओ. चला या नहीं चला? या चला, ठीक है. और इसको करो प्रिंट. बट ये ऑब्जेक्ट के अंदर आ रहा है, राइट? तो अब इसको कैसे करेंगे? सोचो, दिमाग लगाओ. कैसे करेंगे? ये अगर एक ऑब्जेक्ट है और इसकी वैल्यू को प्रिंट आउट करना, भाई समझ नहीं आया. हाउ टू कन्वर्ट स्ट्रिंग इनटू लिस्ट. ये बहुत इजी है भाई. ये रहा, ये तुम्हारा स्ट्रिंग था, ठीक है. स्ट्रिंग को लो, डॉट स्प्लिट करना है इस पूरे स्ट्रिंग को, ठीक है. और फिर किस बेसिस पे स्प्लिट करना है? नॉर्मली जस्ट इसका यूज़ करो. क्या मतलब, जो भी तुम्हारे स्प्लिट का जो भी रीज़न है वो डाल दो. लेट्स सपोज अगर यहाँ पे डॉट है, ठीक है, ये लो डॉट, ये यहाँ पे डॉट, ये यहाँ पे डॉट एंड ये यहाँ पे डॉट, ठीक है. तो हमने सिर्फ 1 2 3 4 डॉट्स लगाए हैं. और अगर मैं यहाँ पे भी डॉट लगा दूँ तो अब ये लिस्ट बनेगी विद 1 2 3 4 5 एलिमेंट्स. ये किया मैंने. ये देखो, I1 M1 the1 बेस्ट 1 एंड ये बाकी वाला पूरा. चलो, ये तो डिक्शनरी के अंदर बताया मैंने. अभी इसको एक बार कमेंट करता हूँ एंड वो लिस्ट जो है उसको प्रिंट आउट करता हूँ, ठीक है. ये किया मैंने, लिस्ट को प्रिंट आउट. चलो देखो, आई बना एक, तो दूसरा एम बना, दा बना, और फिर बेस्ट बना, और फिर लास्ट वाला पूरा. ये पूरा एक एलिमेंट है. अब ओके, अगर मैं लेंथ प्रिंट आउट करूँगा तो भी वही आएगा, लेंथ ऑफ लिस्ट 1. चलो ये देखो, सिर्फ 5 है, तो 1 2 3 4 5, ठीक है. एंड अगर यहाँ पे मैं स्पेस लगा दूँ तो अब ये स्पेस के बेसिस पे स्प्लिट करेगा, ठीक है. तुम यहाँ पे कॉमा भी लगा सकते हो, तुम यहाँ पे जो मन करे वो लगा सकते हो. कॉमा लगाओ, डॉट लगाओ, ठीक है, सेमी कोलन लगाओ, कोलन लगाओ, जो तुम्हारा मन करे वो लगाओ. उसके बेसिस पे स्प्लिट कर देगा. अगर वो अवेलेबल नहीं है तो स्प्लिट नहीं होगा, ठीक है. तो अभी हमने स्पेस लगाया और अभी ये पूरी की पूरी लिस्ट बन जाएगी इसकी. टोटल कितने वर्ड्स हैं? टोटल 24 वर्ड्स हैं, ठीक है. और अगर पूरे 24 वर्ड्स हैं तो फिर डिक्शनरी बनाने में क्या जाएगा? नॉर्मल. लेकिन हमें उसके लिए ये डॉट हटाना पड़ेगा एंड यहाँ पे स्पेस लगाना पड़ेगा. चलो जी, हो गया, ठीक है. बेस्ट अभी 5 बार आ रहा है. एंड ऑल सेट. बन रहा हूँ ना इजी स्निपेट जैसा. एंड ऑल सेट. चलो, इसके अंदर वैल्यूज़ वाला देखना था यार. ये वैल्यूज़ वाला मेरे को याद नहीं आ रहा. इसलिए तो ब्रशअप कर रहा हूँ मैं। कीज वाला तो याद था मेरे को, वैल्यूज वाले में मैक्स लगा रहा हूँ, तो ऐसे बकचोदिया कर रहा हूँ मैं अभी, ठीक है। ठीक है ठीक है, मैक्स नहीं लगा सकते भाई, आई ट्रेबल नहीं है। हाँ, लेकिन मैं एक चीज़ जरूर करना चाहूँगा, फॉर आई इन वर्ड डिक वैल्यूज़, ये ठीक है। और फिर यहाँ पे कर दो आप आई, क्या आई ट्रेबल नहीं है? ठीक है, नहीं होगा। ये किया मैंने यहाँ पे, ये गया यहाँ, ये गया इधर, प्रिंट कर दो आप आई। अभी भी नहीं हो रहा। बिल्ट इन फंक्शन और मेथड ऑब्जेक्ट इज नॉट आइटरेबल। कूल। लेकिन अगर मैं कीज करूँ तब क्या होता? तब भी नहीं हो रहा। ये तो गलत बात है यार, कीज का तो होना चाहिए था। कीज के आगे ये लगाएंगे तब होगा, हो गया। तो फिर वैल्यूज के आगे लगाएंगे तो क्या होगा? सही। तो फिर अगर मैं मैक्स लगा दूँ तो क्या होगा? एंड इसको करना प्रिंट। इस बार तो आना चाहिए यार। नहीं, प्रिंट मैक्स ये 5। मतलब कभी कभी विदाउट डॉक्यूमेंटेशन पढ़े जब कुछ चीज़ें कर देता हूँ ना, बड़े मज़े आते हैं। तो देखो, हमने ये नई चीज़ सीख ली। अगर हम ब्रैकेट्स नहीं लगाएंगे, ठीक है, तो फिर ये जो वर्ड डिक डॉट वैल्यूज़ जो है, ये है सिर्फ ऑब्जेक्ट। ये सिर्फ ऑब्जेक्ट है, कोड चलेगा आपका। लेकिन अगर आप इसको ब्रैकेट्स लगा देते हो तो ये सारी की सारी वैल्यूज़ को प्रिंट करेगा, ठीक है। तब ये आपको पूरा का पूरा ऑब्जेक्ट के अंदर क्या है वो दिखाएगा। वेराज अगर आप ब्रैकेट्स नहीं लगा रहे हो, अभी क्या हो रहा है, हाँ, तो ये सिर्फ आपको ऑब्जेक्ट का नाम बता देगा कि हाँ ठीक है भाई, डिक्ट वैल्यू करके कुछ है, ठीक है। हमें नहीं पता उसके अंदर क्या है, लेकिन जैसे आपने ब्रैकेट्स लगाए उसके अंदर सारी वैल्यूज़ दिखा देगा। अब अगर आपको क्या करना है, आपको मैक्स फाइंड आउट करना है इसके अंदर, तो मैक्स के अंदर मैक्स लगाओ एंड ऑल सेट, बन गए 5, ठीक है। व्हाट इज गोइंग टू डू, एन्यूमरेट वर्ड डिक। हेलो मैन, हेलो भाई, एन्यूमरेट वर्ड डिक। चलो हाँ, ये भी देख लेते हैं। एन्यूमरेट एंड वर्ड एंड डिक, मतलब डिक्शनरी। ओके, तो ये वापस से ऑब्जेक्ट दिखा रहा है हमें। इसके अंदर क्या करेंगे फिर? तेरा 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 अब इसके आगे तो ये नहीं लगा सकते ना। एन्यूमरेट डॉट वैल्यूज करें तो नहीं, इसके अंदर भी नहीं हो रहा है। ये फिर से आपको ऑब्जेक्ट दिखा रहा है। एन्यूमरेट करते क्यों हैं? चेकआउट करें इसका। चलो इसका चेकआउट करते हैं। क्या कर रहे थे? एन्यूमरेट इन पाइथन। चलो enumerate ये iterable any object that supports iteration, the index value from which the counter is to be started. By default it is 0. Returns an iterator with index and element pairs from the original iterables. ठीक है, इन्होंने L1 डाला enumerate object 1 के अंदर, object 2 के अंदर, फिर type of object इन्होंने किया तो वो आया एन्यूमरेट, ठीक है। तो वो आ गया, ये रहा रिटर्न टाइप करने पे। फिर प्रिंट लिस्ट किया, एन्यूमरेट L1 किया तो ये आया इनका ओके 0 1 2। सही, जो इंडेक्स है वो पूरा का पूरा साथ में लिख दिया इन्होंने, द इंडेक्स वैल्यू फ्रॉम द विच द काउंटर इज टू बी स्टार्टेड। हाँ, ये अच्छा है यार। तो अभी मेरे को क्या करना है, क्या था ये, एनमरेट एनमरेट, हाँ ठीक है, फिर लिस्ट बना दिया, ठीक है। तो फिर अगर मैं इसका कर दूँ एन्यूमरेट ऑफ वर्ल्ड, ठीक है। एंड इसको भी इसने किया क्या कुछ, हाँ इसने ऑब्जेक्ट वन लगाया इसको, ठीक है, मैंने भी लगा दिया ऑब्जेक्ट वन। चलो एंड अभी क्या करेंगे, रिटर्न टाइप ऑब्जेक्ट वन, हाँ ठीक है, इसको भूल जाओ। नीचे वाला देखो एनमरेट L1, इसको पूरे को उठाया एंड फिर उसको लिस्ट में कन्वर्ट किया और फिर उसको प्रिंट आउट कर दिया, प्रिंट लिस्ट। ये लो L1 की जगह क्या लगाएंगे, वर्ल्ड। हमारे पास में हर एक जो कीज़ है उसका इंडेक्स नंबर आ चुका है अब, ठीक है। और अगर मेरे को इसका टाइप फाइंड आउट करना है कि मतलब ये तो लिस्ट के अंदर आ गया ना, तो ये तो लिस्ट का टाइप हो गया, लेकिन इसके अंदर ये है छोटे छोटे, क्या है ये, टपल्स, टपल्स है ये, टपल्स। बढ़िया यार, क्या टाइप लिखूँ यहाँ पे, लिस्ट को हटा करके लिखता हूँ एनमरेट। काफ़ी अच्छी चीज़ है यार ये। रिटर्न टाइप ये हुआ, फिर ये हो गया, फिर ये हो गया, ठीक है। यूजिंग एनमरेट ऑब्जेक्ट इन लूप्स, एनमरेट इज यूज्ड विद अ लिस्ट कॉल्ड L1, इट फर्स्ट प्रिंट टपल्स, ठीक है, ऑफ इंडेक्स एंड एलिमेंट पेयर्स, ठीक है। तो उसका इंडेक्स देगा और साथ में जो उसका एलिमेंट पेयर है वो देगा। Then it changes the starting index while printing them together. Finally, it prints the index and elements separately, each on its own line. ये भी कर सकते हैं। काउंट तो हुआ 0, एलिमेंट हुआ ईट, और अगर सिर्फ एलिमेंट प्रिंट आउट करना है तो ओके, ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। एलिमेंट पूरा का पूरा वही हुआ, मतलब ये एक एलिमेंट कहाँ गया यार, ये पूरा का पूरा एक एलिमेंट है, ठीक है। अगर मैं इसको सिर्फ काउंट करना है तो फॉर आई इन फॉर काउंट कॉमा एलिमेंट इन एन्यूमरेट वर्ड डिक, ठीक है। एंड अभी मैं करूँगा प्रिंट COUNT काउंट एंड प्रिंट, यहाँ पे करेंगे हम एलिमेंट, ठीक है। तो अब ये सबको अलग अलग लिखेगा, 0i, फिर 1m, फिर 2 द, ऐसे करके सही। लेकिन अगर मैं यहाँ पे लिख दूँ कि एंड करो, लेकिन किसके साथ में, किसी के साथ में मत करो, बस कॉमा लगा दो, तो अभी काउंट आएगा फिर उसका एलिमेंट आएगा, ऐसे। सही है यार, ये नई चीज़ सीखी आज, चलो कुछ तो मिला आज अच्छा वाला। थैंक्स भाई, क्या नाम है तुम्हारा, किसने बताया था मेरे को ये, B3K ने बताया भाई, थैंक यू यार, अमेजिंग अमेजिंग, थैंक यू। For I in enumerate verdict alone. Because of you, I started also to learn Python. Currently, I am doing the CS50 course. Coursera 50 है क्या ये? Can you try English? Yeah, sure, I can. I wanted you to 4 in the enumerate. I wanted you to 4 in the enumerate. Okay, ठीक है। 4 in enumerate मतलब यहाँ पे जो मैंने अभी भी किया है। सही है भाई, सही है, एक नंबर एक नंबर। यू टॉट मी अ न्यू थिंग टुडे, मतलब हाँ फिगर आउट मैंने कर लिया, बट ऑल क्रेडिट गोज टू यू। B3K यार, अच्छा नाम लिखा करो यार, गुड वन गुड वन। Yes bro. थैंक्स. चलो अब स्टार्ट करते हैं, वापस से कंटिन्यू करते हैं. ऑफ रोडिंग हो गया था हमारा थोड़ा. ठीक है.
So what I do is I say max equals 0. In fact, you can write a piece of code on the editor too, but I will do it on the console like this. Okay, max equals 0 for x in Malgudi. Okay, so we should probably redo that dictionary, right? Dictionary I should start from the beginning, correct? Why? Because I have put all the values here. Now I'll redo the entire code from the beginning so that you understand what is what. Okay, so d equals so much for x in s. Every single word in this Malgudi, where I have removed the repetitions and created a set instead. You see the application of list and a set. If this was too big a list, going through every single word and even the repetitions doesn't make sense. You see, because you need to include the word only once. Correct? I initialize my dictionary. So as you can see, every single word comes and it says 0, 0, 0, 0. Because I have not gone through every single word and counted them. How many times they occur? No, I'm going to do that. Look at this. I'll go slowly here. Max is 0. Dictionary initiated. Alright? Dictionary values are appended to the dictionary. And I count, the first one will be the word, second one will be the number of occurrence of that word. Okay? Now I must find which word is most frequently occurred. So what I'll do is for x in Malgudi, I'll go to every single word here. Okay? So if d of
एक बात बताओ यार, इनैमोरेट के अंदर हमें वैल्यूज भी मिल सकती है क्या? जैसे कि ये हमारे पास में डिक्शनरी है, राइट? डिक्शनरी का हमने किया ये. 2 मिनट, ये भी सर्च करते हैं. इनैमोरेट विद डिक्शनरी. चलो कुछ तो आएगा. टू काउंट ऑफ द नेम 1 by 1, डिटरमाइन द नंबर. अच्छा, ये नहीं आएगा यार. हाँ, नहीं आएगा, सिर्फ कीज आएगा, वैल्यूज नहीं आएगा हमको. ये डिक्शनरी हुआ हमारा. फिर IA 2B 3C 4D. हाँ, इंडेक्स नंबर हुआ और फिर बाद में वो कीज़ हुआ. वैल्यूज़ नहीं आएगा. वैल्यूज़ लाना है तो फिर ये क्या है? आइटम्स क्या है इसने? IKV, ये करके देखते हैं. IKV, ठीक है. इन एनैमोरेट एग्जाम्पल लीजिएगा. हमारा क्या था? वर्ड, डिक्शनरी, आइटम्स एंड IKV. ठीक है, परफेक्ट. तो ये आइटम्स वाला एक और नया सीख लिया. इफ आई जस्ट प्रिंट दिस वर्ड डिक्शनरी आइटम्स, ठीक है, तो ये सारे के सारे इट रिटर्न्स ऑल द आइटम्स with the keys and the values. Okay, if I write printing, then what it will return. ठीक है, और अगर टाइप करूँ तो it's dict items. ठीक है, so there are 3 actually, or maybe 4. dict item मतलब कुछ भी तुम्हारी जो डिक्शनरी का नेम है. ठीक है, let's suppose this is dictionary name and then items first, then second is जो भी तुम्हारी डिक्शनरी का नेम है डॉट कीज. ठीक है, अब ये रन क्यों हो रहा है? देन डॉट वैल्यूज. कूल. ओके, इसके अलावा एक ये था इन्यूमरेट तो फिर हर किसी के साथ चलना चाहिए ना. डिक्शनरी के साथ, लिस्ट के साथ, टपल्स के साथ, सेट्स के साथ. क्या L1 हमने नहीं किया क्या अभी तक? L कल किया था हमने. L ठीक है, तो ये 3 चीज़ें होगी आज हमारी, आइटम्स, कीज, वैल्यूज़। बहुत बेसिक पढ़ रहे हैं भाई हम, बहुत ज़्यादा बेसिक पढ़ रहे हैं। हाँ भाई, अब सब कुछ इनैमोरेट करूँगा, मतलब अच्छा लगता है ना जब आप नई चीज़ का पता चले तो उसको डीपली अंदर तक जाओ।
So d of x equals d of x plus 1, correct? So I increment the occurrence of that word. For instance, I see it here as I explained earlier, so it will be 1 occurrence or 2 occurrence or 3, it will get incremented by 1 here. Here, if you remember, in single iteration, in this iteration itself I'm finishing it, it will not make sense to you if you have not watched this video. So watch this video first, please. Alright, so and then I do this and I say enter and I come out of this and boom, print.
इन्होंने कितना बड़ा जा करके किया है, मैक्स एक्स तो मालूम दिस फिर इसके अंदर ऐड करो, इफ dx इज ग्रेटर देन मैक्स, तो फिर मैक्स के अंदर वापस dx लिखो,
you will get the updated values, right? And then print what am I going to type now? Max. You will get the max value too, which is 6 here. Correct? We're wondering, sir, why is it saying 6? I also want the exact word too. No, that's not what we are doing. We only want to display the max element. That's what even this lecture talks about. But let's go one step ahead and try to figure out if we can actually display the word as well. So how do we do that? Let me start from beginning once again. Let me initialize d. What do I do? What I do here, I initialize d and I initialize the values to 0. Okay? So for x in s, d of x is equal to 0. And after that, my max was initialized to 0 as well, and then this for loop happened. Okay? So what I'm going to now do is the answer word. Okay? I'm going to initialize. This will have the answer right now. Okay? So I'll say for x in Malgudi, it's called. In this very code I'm going to rewrite it. Okay? D of x is equal to d of x plus 1. If d of x is greater than max, then max equals d of x, and your answer word is equal to the value x. Right? I start this, and every time max gets changed, answer word is also getting changed. Plain English, think about it. This looks very complicated. This looks like kind of a language that you have never encountered so far. But bear with me, things will get easier as you keep practicing it. Okay? So I say enter here, then I'll print d. Wow, good, updated.
ठीक है, ये यहाँ पे हुआ है. I don't understand what you are talking. Sorry bro. Okay, from now on I'll start talking in English. ठीक है? Okay. So we need to find out the word for which we have the maximum value, that is 5 for best word. Okay. So like here, best has occurred. The frequency of the word best is 5. So you will improve my English for sure bro. For I क्या करेंगे? What we are going to do? We were on the where here. Okay, so this is done, and now what we want to print this word best. Okay, so for I in word dictionary values, and if okay, so now max is 5 for us. Okay, now what we want to print best. Keys must be unique and the value will increase. Just for fun, add every word that you find in dictionary as key. Yeah, that I have done already. What I want to achieve the best, because that was the most occurred time, right? Can we do that? I think no, but I want to try. No, we cannot. If I try 4 items, 4 I in word dict dot items. Okay, and if this no, it's still not working. I want to know what is I. Print I, it's complete an item. Okay, so if I want to go in that particular item and want to see what is max here, so let's suppose max is equals to 0. Okay, and I in I j is 0, but I want the second one. So for that I need 1. No, what I'm going to do, if I is equals to j, sorry, j is equals to 1. Okay, greater than max, then is equals to j, and no. If value is equals to max, then print keys. Word dict is equals to max, or else like this. I don't know that you have in the word dict is a list of lists. what we can do here, if value is equals to max, then print key. I'm not sure if it will work or not, because here I have done it. If value is equals to 5, which is max, right? Then print keys. It's not working, bro. There it is. Here. Nothing got printed out. Let's print max for now. Print max. Okay. 1 1 1, then 5 5 5 5 5. Okay. What we want is that keys and value should come together. Okay. And from here, if I want to check, like let's suppose max is 0, and for I in take dot values, if I is greater than max, then max is equals to I. Finish. Okay, so here max is 5. Okay, then it will come into this loop, and here we are going to check if v is equals to 5 or max, then print ikb or maybe kb. Okay, this should work. No, it's not working. Object is not iterable. Okay, sorry. Done it. So enumerate actually helped us here, because it gives us all three values, index number, keys and value together in the items. Try verdict I. Okay, for I in word dictionary. Okay, for word dictionary, and print I. It only gives us the keys. Okay. Okay, this dictionary is huge, bro, huge. Cool. Our problem is solved, right? Our problem was to find out the best, and then 5. There it is. We used all our knowledge. Enumerate, items, values, and keys left only. That's it. for I in word dict dot values. Yes, I have done it in the second line. Print word dict I. No bro, that won't work for sure, because you can get only the values using keys. You can't get keys using values. Or we can, for I in word dictionaries dot values. Okay, and then I'm going to print here I to get the value. Okay, but you are telling me that word dictionary and then here I to get the keys. I don't think it will work, but let's see. Okay, so it gave us the first word dictionary value, which is 1, but later on it returned us an error. Because there is no such key as verdict 1. I hope it helped you somewhere. Here we can only enter keys like best. This one came from here, then 55555. Those are all values. Okay, enum in front of word dict dot values. One more try. Enumerator in front of word dict dot values. No bro, it won't work. Again, let me show you how. Dict dot values, and if you want enumerator here, what was the spelling bro? I forgot. Enumerate. Okay, enumerate. Cool. And here and here and here and print I. Let's see what it gave us. It gave us all the values and their index. Cool. Now what you want? You want what? Word dictionary dot keys. This is what we want. And if this is 5, then give us this index, and if that index we can give it here in the keys, then it will be same as this. Enumerate items, and only item can give you keys and values both. Chalo, it was good try. Thanks bro, I learned a lot today, like multiple things. Great, this is great. Word dict I dot key. Verdict I dot value. Verdict I dot key. Okay, verdict I dot value. Give us some errors. Yes, it will, because we have index and values only. But if I do here verdict and dot item, again it gives us some errors. No attribute item, items, I1, key error. Okay, not a problem. How about this? No, int object has no attribute key. Never mind, bro. We got it. We got our answer. Best and 5. It's good. What's the time? It's 9:36, bro. We are already late. 30 minutes late we are. Okay, thank you very much. We will connect tomorrow at 8 p.m. again. Okay. I have done the keys. It is not working. No, it's not. And no, it's not. Okay, no problem. Okay, we will meet tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Thanks for coming. Don't call me sir. I'm your brother. Much love from Romania. Thanks, bro. Thank you very much. It's good to connect with different country, like different culture altogether. Thank you very much for coming, and much love from India as well. Okay, make sure to connect with me on LinkedIn. Link you can find in the description. Okay, thanks. Bye. Thanks for joining. Thanks for making me understand new things. So it was a great session of 1 hour and 37 minutes or something. I'm not sure what time it is. Okay, chalo, see you.